You have walked past this plant hundreds of times, and every single week, you probably pull it out. But here is the part no one tells you. The weed you have been evicting for free is the exact same family as a berry that sells for $8 a pint at Whole Foods. Researchers across 3 continents have studied it for over a decade, and today I am going to show you exactly how to identify it safely, why its compounds rival an expensive health store supplement, and how to harvest it for $0 forever. Why did 3 civilizations value this backyard weed for centuries, while we're paying $8 for its cultivated cousin? There is a specific compound inside this weed that you currently pay top dollar for at the supplement store. But first, let me show you how to spot it safely, why 3 continents never called it a weed, and the zero-cost method to keep it forever. About 10 minutes. Grab a pen for the tea recipe. Let's start with why. This plant, the one growing in your backyard right now, goes by a different name on every continent that knows it. In Brazil, they call it canapum. In Southeast Asia, cyplocan. In parts of Africa, it has been used in traditional medicine for generations. 3 civilizations, 3 continents, 3 completely different names. And they all arrived at the same plant independently. That's not a coincidence. That's a signal. In Brazil, traditional healers brewed the leaves into tea, a practice deeply rooted in local herbal folklore, especially around digestive and general wellness support. In Southeast Asia, the whole plant was used: roots, leaves, fruit. In parts of West Africa, it is still part of everyday plant tradition today. Meanwhile, here in the United States, we're paying $7 to $8 a pint for its cultivated cousin at Whole Foods, and pulling the wild version out of our gardens every single week. So why did the Western world forget it? It's not a conspiracy, it's just business. This plant never had one single name in English, so it was never branded. You can't sell what you can't name. And here's the second reason. These fruits ripen scattered inside delicate paper husks. You can't harvest them with a machine. Industrial agriculture needs crops that move fast and scale big. This plant refused to cooperate, so they walked away. The plant doesn't know it's been forgotten. It's been growing in your yard the whole time, waiting, reseeding itself every season, for free. So what exactly makes this weed so valuable? It comes down to a group of compounds called withanolides. You may not recognize that name, but here is one you will. Ashwagandha. That $30 supplement bottle at your health store, same compound family. Growing free, in your yard. A 2024 review published in PMC identified more than 15 new withanolide compounds in Physalis angulata alone. 15 in one species. Researchers are still mapping what this plant contains. And it's not just withanolides. According to WebMD, 1 cup of Physalis fruit delivers more than 50% of your daily vitamin C. That's more than most oranges. From a plant you've been pulling out every week. Now, I want to be clear about something. I'm not telling you this is medicine. What I'm telling you is what researchers have been studying. A 2020 study in Science Direct looked at Physalis angulata leaf extract and found statistically significant reductions in inflammation markers in animal models. That's what researchers are studying.
Not medical advice. Research.
A 2008 study published in Natural Product Research, cited 99 times by other researchers, looked at hepatoprotective effects in animal studies. Other scientists thought this was worth following up on. 99 times worth it. Now here's the part that gets me every time. The cultivated version of this plant, Physalis peruviana, same genus, different variety, sells for $5 to $8 a pint at Whole Foods. They call it a golden berry. The wild version, growing in your garden, costs you nothing. Physalis is basically the wild, free-range cousin of the golden berry. Same family, different price tag. The plant has been trying to establish itself in your garden for free. You keep evicting it. Now you know what's in it, but knowing isn't enough. You need to find it. And there's one more thing. There's a plant in your yard that looks similar. One you should absolutely not touch. Let me show you the one visual cue that makes Physalis impossible to confuse, and the safety warning you need before you go near any of this. Okay, here's how you find it. I promised you 30 seconds and one visual cue. I'm going to keep that promise. Walk out to your yard. You're looking for one thing only. A plant with what looks like a tiny paper lantern hanging from its stem. This paper husk, 10 distinct ridges completely enclosing the fruit. When it dries out, it turns straw-colored or light brown. No other plant in an American backyard has this. This is the one sign that never lies. Paper lantern husk. You found your plant. Look closely at these leaves. Have you been pulling this out of your garden? Tell me in the comments, because I spent years throwing these away. Now, the safety warning I promised. There is one plant that can grow nearby and look similar before the husk forms. Eastern Black Nightshade. Same leaf shape, same disturbed soil habitat. Here's the difference. Nightshade berries grow in open clusters. No paper husk. They turn shiny black when ripe. If there is no husk, walk away immediately. Two more things before you touch anything. Green fruits on Physalis are toxic. Do not eat them. Only harvest when the husk has turned straw brown and the fruit inside is fully orange. And the husk itself is not edible. Peel it off. Always. If you have pets or small children, keep the green parts of the plant out of reach. When ripe and properly identified, it's safe. Now the tea. Grab a pen. A small handful of dried leaves, about 1 to 2 teaspoons crumbled, or 3 to 5 fresh leaves chopped. 1 cup of water, 250 milliliters, heated to 176 degrees Fahrenheit. That is just below boiling. Do not use a full rolling boil. You will damage the active compounds. Steep for 10 to 30 minutes. That is the basic recipe. How often you drink it is entirely up to you. Some foragers enjoy one occasionally. Others make it part of their routine. As with any wild herb, moderation matters. And if you have any health condition, talk to your doctor before trying it. And the fruit. When the husk turns straw brown, peel it off, rinse the fruit to remove the sticky film. It's a little bitter if you skip that. You can eat them fresh, up to about 20 a day for adults. They make an excellent jam. High natural pectin, sets easily. Or a sauce for grilled meats. Just remember, ripe and orange only. And no pets. Now for the lazy part. You don't need to plant this. You just need to stop removing it. Let 1 or 2 plants go to fruit.
Let them drop naturally.
The seeds will overwinter and come back next spring. If you're in USDA zones 7 through 11, do nothing. It self-seeds on its own. Zones 4 through 6 collect seeds in fall Dry them completely on paper, store in a cool, dry place, and start indoors 4 weeks before your last frost date. That's the entire method. Stop pulling it out. Learn to identify it once. That is it. One plant, 0 cost, forever. Now, the neighbor payoff. Why did 3 continents value this weed for centuries? Because it grows everywhere for free, and they were paying attention. We just stopped looking. Until now. Here is the neighbor payoff. Next time someone in your yard or a neighbor walking past points at this plant and asks what it is, you will know. It is the wild cousin of a Whole Foods goldenberry, growing free in your yard, with a decade of published research behind it. Watch their face change. Now you know how to spot the wild goldenberry. But there is another common weed hiding in your lawn right now that is entirely edible and packed with nutrients. Subscribe if you want one more plant like this every week. Plants your neighbors are paying for that you can grow for free. I will show you in the next one. Happy gardening.